Hey, welcome. Sometimes the best way to understand a really huge idea is to zoom all the way in on one tiny detail. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to unpack a pretty revolutionary idea about language by putting a single, ordinary word under a microscope to see why it's so darn powerful.
So first things first, let's just appreciate the sheer scale of what we're talking about here. The English language is, well, it's enormous. It's this vast ocean of words and meanings, and honestly, it can feel pretty overwhelming for just about anyone. And all that complexity brings up a really big question.
No, really, just think about it for a second. How many words do you think you actually need to communicate well? To get your point across, to have a good conversation, to make sense of things. What do you think that number is?
Well, get this. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, there are more than 171,000 words currently in use. That number is just staggering, right? It's no wonder trying to master the language can feel like climbing a mountain with no top. I mean, who could possibly learn all of those?
Okay, but what if there was another way? A system that was designed to slice right through all that complexity. A system that says you don't need hundreds of thousands of words, but just a tiny, very carefully chosen handful to say pretty much anything you need to.
850. That's the number. Just 850 words. This is the heart of a system called Basic English, and it was designed specifically for clear global communication. The goal isn't to limit what you can say, not at all. It's about finding the absolute most efficient way to say it.
And it's so important to get this straight. Basic English isn't some dumbed-down version of the language. Nope. Think of it more like a precision toolkit. Every single one of those 850 words was picked because of its power and its flexibility. They're like the ultimate building blocks for even the most complex ideas.
So how on earth do you whittle down over 170,000 words to just 850? Well, to figure that out, we're going to put on our detective hats. We're going to take just one of those 850 words, pull it apart, and see exactly what makes a word essential enough to make the cut. And the word we're looking at is support. I know, it seems so simple, right? We use it all the time without even thinking. But that simplicity, well, that's its secret weapon. That's what makes it so brilliant and so vital to this whole system.
So, what's the big deal? What special qualities does this one little word have that earns it a spot on such an exclusive, short list? Let's dig in and look at the evidence.
First off, this word has quite the resume. It's not just some random pick. It's obviously on the Basic English list. It's also one of the 1,000 most frequently used words in the entire language. And it's considered essential for academic writing. So this isn't just a useful word, it's a linguistic powerhouse.
Okay, so a huge piece of its power is its incredible versatility. Support isn't just one thing. It's a shapeshifter. It can play two totally different roles in a sentence. It can be an action, but it can also be a thing.
As a verb, it's the doing word, right? The action of holding something up or taking care of someone. But as a noun, it's the thing itself, the actual object that's doing the holding. This two-for-one deal is a massive clue that we're looking at a core, powerful word. Let's see what that looks like.
Okay, here's the verb in its most basic physical sense. The legs are doing the action. They are supporting the table. It's a super clear, concrete image. This right here is the foundation of the word's entire meaning.
And here is where it gets really cool. This shows how that physical meaning can stretch into an abstract one. Here, support isn't about literally holding someone up, it's about providing for them. But that core idea of keeping something up, whether it's a table or a family, it's still there.
Now check out the noun. In this sentence, the support is the posts. They're the things providing the base. See how the action and the thing are just two sides of the very same coin? That is pure efficiency.
So just by looking at this one word, support, we can actually start to reverse engineer the whole process. We can basically see the blueprint for what it takes to be considered a truly basic and essential word.
So here it is, the three-point test that every one of these essential words has to pass. First, it's got to be versatile, doing double duty as different parts of speech. Second, it has to be foundational. It needs a concrete, physical meaning that can also stretch to cover abstract ideas. And third, it has to be common, a word you hear and use all the time. That's the magic formula.
But there's one more ingredient, and this one is absolutely crucial, especially when you're building a system for people all over the world. The core idea behind the word has to make sense to, well, everyone.
And this number really says it all, 59. That's how many different languages the Wiktionary entry for support has been translated into. The idea of holding something up, of providing a base,
That's not just an English thing. It's a human thing. It's universal, which makes it the perfect tool for building bridges between cultures.
All right, let's zoom back out. We went way down the rabbit hole on a single word, but in doing that, we've uncovered the entire philosophy behind this amazing system of communication. It all comes down to the incredible power of keeping things simple.
If there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's that the most basic words are often the most powerful ones we have. They're like a Swiss Army knife for language. These incredibly versatile, reliable tools you can combine to build almost any idea, no matter how complicated. They are the very bedrock of clear communication.
And that leaves us with one last big question. We're so often told we need to learn more words, that a bigger vocabulary is always better. But this idea kind of turns that on its head. It suggests that real power comes from mastering the essentials. So if just 850 carefully chosen words can build a bridge between different ideas and different cultures, what could you build? What new ideas, what new connections could you make if you focus not just on more words, but on the right ones?